The rise and fall of empires. How modern superpowers are repeating historical trends. Throughout history, empires have risen to power through wealth, military strength, and cultural influence, only to eventually fall due to overreach, internal decay, and external competition. No superpower has escaped this cyclical nature, not even the Roman or British empires. There are echoes of these historical trends in contemporary global powers like China, Russia, and the United States. Modern nations are utilizing the same risky tactics that once catapulted ancient civilizations to greatness: economic growth, military superiority, and technical innovation. History demonstrates that problems from emerging rivals, environmental degradation, and internal instability frequently follow the expansion of an empire. These tendencies are not unique to modern superpowers. This video will show us how the world's superpowers are reenacting the same historical cycles of dominance and decline, providing an intriguing window into how the past may predict the direction of world leadership in the future. 1. Wealth accumulation and economic growth. Empires have historically grown through economic expansion and wealth accumulation. For example, the Roman Empire brought forth great prosperity by controlling trade routes across Europe, Africa, and Asia. In a similar vein, the British Empire used its colonies for financial advantage, becoming one of the richest countries on the planet. Superpowers of today operate on the same principles. After World War II, the US gained the upper hand in the global economy thanks to its industrial might, technological innovations, and command over international trade. Similar to this, China's economy has grown quickly over the past 2 decades, overtaking the United States as the second largest in the world, thanks to an ambitious policy of export-driven growth and infrastructure development. But as history shows us, unbridled economic expansion can result in overstretching and ultimately downfall. For instance, Rome's territorial and resource expansion was unsustainable over time. Though China's rapid expansion is starting to show signs of weakness, such as mounting debt and a real estate bubble, the United States is currently facing substantial economic issues, including debt, trade imbalances, and a dwindling manufacturing base. These cautionary indicators resemble the economic excesses of previous empires, implying that unbridled growth may eventually result in catastrophe. 2. Overstretching and military dominance. Historically, empires have come to prominence by military domination, but their demise was frequently attributed to the overstretching of their armed forces. The Roman Empire eventually experienced internal instability and conflict as a result of its enormous military conquests, taxing its resources. At its height, the British Empire kept a military presence around the world, but it found it difficult to maintain control over its colonies, eventually losing them in expensive wars of independence. Superpowers of today deal with comparable issues. With the biggest military expenditure in the world, the US has fought in several wars since World War II, ranging from Vietnam and Korea to Iraq and Afghanistan. Although military might has kept at the top of the world stage, these wars have put a strain on resources and raised questions about whether such a strong military presence can be sustained across the board. Like other overreach empires, its current involvement in Ukraine is taxing its economy and depleting its resources. These instances show a pattern where a superpower becomes increasingly susceptible to collapse due to internal weakening caused by military overstretching. 3. Innovation and technological progress. Empires have risen mostly due to their capacity to take advantage of technical developments. The Roman Empire ruled over most of the known world thanks to its advancements in engineering and military technology. The Industrial Revolution gave the British Empire a technological advantage that allowed it to conquer and rule over large areas of land. Technological innovation has been a major source of power in the contemporary era. Because of its pioneering role in scientific discoveries, from the space race to the nuclear arms race, the United States has become a global powerhouse. But as history demonstrates, technological advancement can stall out at a slower rate. China is currently challenging the United States as the technical leader thanks to its advancements in quantum computing, 5G, and artificial intelligence. It is yet unclear if the United States will continue to lead the world in technology or if it will regress to the level of previous empires that failed to innovate when it mattered most. 4. Soft power and cultural influence. Empires rise through cultural influence, or what is now called soft power, in addition to their economic and military prowess. The Roman Empire maintained control over its enormous lands by introducing its laws, culture, and language throughout Europe. A large portion of the global cultural influence that the British Empire created still exists today, thanks to the dissemination of the English language, British educational programs, and British judicial systems. The United States has dominated world culture in the modern era, setting trends across social media, music, fashion, and film industries. The Americanization of culture has strengthened U.S. soft power. But as new powers arise, cultural domination might fade, just like in previous empires. With its Belt and Road Initiative, China is actively investing in international infrastructure projects as well as promoting its language and media in an effort to exercise cultural soft power. The United States' hold on soft power may weaken as China works to modify global cultural norms and values, continuing a historical trend in which cultural influence alternates between rising and collapsing empires. 5. Political instability within the country. Empires crumble mostly as a result of internal political turmoil. Later Roman history saw severe internal strife, which ultimately led to the demise of the empire due to political infighting, corruption, and incompetent leadership. Similar to this, the British Empire saw a decline in popular support for colonialism as a result of rising domestic unrest about the expenses of upholding a worldwide empire. Even today's superpowers face internal political difficulties. Political polarization in the US has increased recently, resulting in arguments about democratic institutions, widening gaps between political parties, and a drop in public confidence in the administration. Like the divides that led to the fall of previous empires, this internal instability casts doubt on the United States' capacity to continue leading the world. China also has internal issues such as political persecution and growing inequality. China's political system is tightly controlled, but internal discontent, especially among ethnic minorities and in areas like Xinjiang and Hong Kong, could jeopardize the country's stability. History has demonstrated that even the mightiest empires are susceptible to collapsing due to internal political strife. 6. Depletion of resources and environmental degradation. When they deplete their natural resources and harm the environment, empires frequently fall. Overfarming and deforestation caused the Roman Empire's agricultural output to fall, making it less able to feed its people. Similar to this, the British Empire's difficulties in the 20th century to maintain its economic dominance, while managing depleting resources, were influenced by the environmental consequences of industrialization. Resource depletion and environmental deterioration are becoming major problems for contemporary superpowers. Global issues like pollution, climate change, and overexploitation of natural resources have the potential to topple entire countries. Natural disasters such as hurricanes and wildfires, as well as water scarcity, are becoming more frequent in the United States. China's fast industrialization has left it with pollution and environmental devastation as well. Superpowers may suffer similar fates to those of previous empires, where environmental conditions accelerate their decline if they continue to consume their natural resources. 7. Global dynamics and external competition. Rival powers have posed an external threat to empires throughout history. While the British Empire in the early 20th century faced challenges from growing countries like the United States and Germany, the Roman Empire was under strain from barbarian invasions and rival empires. The external struggle between superpowers is becoming more intense in today's multipolar world. Once the uncontested leader of the world, China and Russia are posing a growing threat to the United States. Geopolitical tensions are heightened by Russia's assertive foreign policy, especially in Eastern Europe and the Middle East, and China's growing economic and military might, which poses a threat to US global dominance. The rivalry between two contemporary superpowers is reminiscent of the historical conflict between empires, when shifting allegiances and struggles for dominance resulted in the fall of powerful states. The emergence of non-state players, the movement of economic centers of power, and international organizations are all altering global dynamics. Modern superpowers might discover that they are experiencing the same patterns of decline that previous empires experienced as these factors continue to change the world order. Final thoughts. Throughout history, the emergence and collapse of empires have frequently occurred. The current superpowers are no different. We can clearly detect similarities between the current powers' economic growth, military superiority, technological innovation, cultural impact, internal instability, environmental difficulties, and external competition with the historical paths of empires. Even while the future is never definite, history demonstrates that no empire, no matter how powerful, is impervious to collapse. Comprehending these historical trends offers significant understanding of the probable destiny of contemporary superpowers as they maneuver through the obstacles of the 21st century. Let us know in the comments what you think about the rise and fall of empires, how modern superpowers are repeating historical trends, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more captivating content on our YouTube channel.